Ruth Bader Ginsburg dead at 87. Let's check in on our liberal friends to see how they're handling the news.
Fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Could this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
Oh, man, what a reaction from our friends on the left. Let's go ahead and compare and contrast this woman's reaction to that of our president, who the left claims to be the unhinged one. Let's tune in to see what Donald J. Trump had to say on the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually saddened to hear that. I am saddened to hear that. Thank you very much.
Some very nice impromptu words there from President Donald Trump, which he then followed up on with an official statement from the White House, which was met by Bill Maher. Also caught wind of the news as he was airing real time on HBO. Let's tune in to see what his reaction
Ruth Bader
was.
Ginsburg just died.
No way.
The way you check the prompter like I'm lying.
No, I'm shocked, man.
I know, but I told you, you can believe me. Yeah.
Remember when I was Mr. Optimism at the beginning of the panel? This is going to get really, really ugly.
Right.
Really, really ugly.
Because
McConnell is going to just jam that through.
Right.
He has no, this is the one thing he's got no compunction about.
No.
So this whole last time it was an election year, wait it out.
And this is
there
so
is
much,
no way that McConnell's
and this is so much closer to the election. I think Scalia died in February.
Right.
This is right before an election.
This is literally the worst case scenario.
And who is going to be the next Supreme Court justice?
Right, I mean, look at...
Scott Baio?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, Amy Barrett, I think. She's like a Laura Ingraham, if you're a judge, I think is going to be the person. Amy Coney Barrett.
That is very, very sad news.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, first of all, before we go on to the political part of it, she was just awesome.
Yeah, right.
Bill Maher made sure to get his virtue signaling brownie points in at the end by pandering to his audience, commenting how great Ruth Bader Ginsburg was. And if you're wondering how this is going to play out on the political spectrum, let me explain to you exactly what's going to happen. The mainstream media is going to rally around the idea that Donald Trump does not have the right to select the next Supreme Court Justice of the United States. With the election just 45 days away, Senate Democrats, House Democrats, and liberals across the country are going to point out Mitch McConnell's behavior back in 2016 following the death of Antonin Scalia, when Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland to fill that seat. Mitch McConnell, then Senate Majority Leader, argued that it was up to voters to decide who the replacement should be by making their voice heard in the presidential election that would come just 11 months later. Democrats, liberals, and those in the mainstream media will argue that Mitch McConnell set a precedent back in 2016. It being an election year, it is inappropriate for the president to decide who the next Supreme Court justice should be, and that voters should have a say in November. One convenient fact that they are sure to ignore when comparing the two cases is the fact that the Senate does not belong to the Democrats. And in this country, under our Constitution, there are checks and balances across the three branches of government. And in this particular case, the Senate holds the power. The executive branch holds the power. You don't have to like the structure in which our country was founded upon, but you have to respect the fact that there are rules and processes in place exactly to handle situations like this. And attempting to draw parallels to how Mitch McConnell handled Barack Obama's Supreme Court nomination of Merrick Garland back in 2016 is irrelevant to what's happening in 2020. Because Democrats didn't control the Senate in 2016. They don't control the Senate in 2020. This is not a power that they're entitled to. And Republicans would be silly and stupid to give up this power with 45 days to go until Election Day. It being an election year does not mean that governing stops for the Senate and the executive branch. And you don't have to like how Mitch McConnell behaved back in 2016 when he refused to consider Barack Obama's nomination for the Supreme Court. And you don't have to like his actions in 2020, where he will surely attempt to push through a Donald Trump nominee before Election Day. But you have to respect the fact that the power he's exercising are powers that were granted to his office in the Constitution. The Senate has the right to confirm nominees that come from the executive branch. The Republicans are in control of the executive branch. The Republicans are in control of the Senate. This is a Republican choice for the next Supreme Court justice to sit on that bench. The Democrats, for all intents and purposes, don't have a say in the matter. And just because we're 45 days away from Election Day doesn't change that fact. And the message to Democrats, to liberals who are upset, who are not emotionally mature enough to handle this reality is simple. If you don't like it, then win the Senate back. If you want to have a say in who the next Supreme Court justice is going to be, how about you win a presidential election and you present a Democratic Senate with an option that you can support? The idea that Republicans are required to pander to the left in this particular situation, to give up a power that they are entitled to. The Republicans won the presidency back in 2016. The Republicans won the Senate. It's a Republican choice for the next Supreme Court justice. And you have to think that the people of this country knew about this when they walked into the voting booth back in 2016. And that Supreme Court was at least some part of what they were thinking about when deciding who to support. So if you think 2020 has been the craziest year on record, get ready, because it's about to get crazier. Get ready for the mainstream media, for Senate Democrats, for Democrats in the House to rile up this country, and for more protests and more riots and more looting and more burning of the streets, because the liberals in this country are not going to go quietly on this issue. And the reason they won't go quietly on this issue is because they have no fundamental understanding of how the federal government works, of what the Constitution actually says, of who gets to decide who the next Supreme Court justice will be. They don't understand that elections have consequences and that presidents get to pick Supreme Court justices that are to be confirmed by the Senate. And if the Democrats don't like it, instead of rioting, instead of protesting, instead of burning down our cities, how about you win a goddamn election? This way you can have a voice in the direction that we go as a country.